Hello. So this is a group reading for the Spirit Oracle group, my little family on Kick. And so what I've done is I've drawn 3 cards so far. The first card is the dominant energy, and this is actually going to be a very general reading because it's for people, but general reading. And with this one, I use the dominant energy came from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, which is a Colette Baron Reed deck. And then I used the second card is what to focus on for your highest good, for our highest good. And this one is a Doreen Virtue deck, and it's the Healing with Fairies deck, which is a really just a lovely deck, very kind of straightforward. And then for the third card, which is what we are moving toward, I use the Mystical Shaman card, which is actually a deck. It's Alberto Viroldo, Colette Baron Reed, and Marcela Lobos did this deck together. And this is the Mystical Shaman Oracle. And it is of ancient symbols and so many from before the written word. And then I'm going to pull a fourth card as kind of a culmination and a draw together, affirmation, confirmation kind of a card. So we'll begin, obviously, with the first card, which comes from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And the card we got was Higher Power. We got this card in reverse. Now, the higher power is referring to spirit, and that we co-create, that we are co-creating with spirit. And anytime a card comes in reverse, that doesn't mean that it's bad news. I say that every time I do a reading. And actually, I was reading somewhere once when it said that when you get a card in reverse, especially in an oracle deck that's really about life path and moving forward and the emotional, physical, spiritual balance and that sort of thing, that you actually should celebrate because you're going to get some very direct guidance. And so there's really no such thing as a bad, card necessarily. In any kind of an oracle deck, it's just not how it works. But when we get the higher power, that it's referring to spirit, and it's referring to conscious contact with that higher power, but also recognizing the energy of spirit in all things and recommitting or committing, if you haven't done it yet, committing to a partnership with spirit, and remembering that we're never alone, that we always have that guidance. We are a manifestation of spirit, and spirit wants to see us succeed. So when this card comes in reverse, it comes with some very specific information. So I'm going to read to you from the guidebook about it, because it does come with very specific information. So let me read to you what it says. Now is the time to examine what you are giving energy and attention to in the back of your mind. If you're obsessing about being right, about old resentments or failed expectations, about money, or about any other people, places, or things, these will be the source from which you create. But you want spirit to be your source. Take heart, for your higher power will never desert you and is always waiting for you to remember the sacred partnership you share. Turn away from other sources of power that don't serve your highest good. There is no greater source than spirit. You can always surrender your troubles and trust that they will be taken care of, and you are in good hands. So the dominant message for this, with this reading, for the group, for the week, I guess, is to remember that we co-create with spirit. And it's interesting because I pulled some cards from myself last night, And I think last week when I pulled cards for myself, I keep getting messages that are reminding me to ask for help. To don't, we take it for granted sometimes that we have to do things ourselves and that we have to be independent and that we have to do that. And the message, the dominant energy card is sharing is that we don't have to do anything alone, and that when we remember spirit and use spirit, the energy of spirit as our guidance and our how we create and how we co-create, then things always have a divine outcome. So the dominant energy for today is remembering spirit and letting that be, rather than, because where we focus, what we focus on is what we are going to manifest and draw to our lives. So if we're focusing on things that don't include spirit, or we're feel like we're paddling upriver with issues, maybe it's because we are not remembering to include spirit. And so the big message with this card as well is to ask for help. So when we are struggling with letting something go, or we are hyper focusing on something and really having a hard time just going with the flow and taking the path of least resistance and letting things play out, so we're not worried, we're not regretful of the past, we're not worried about the future, about things that may never happen. When we're struggling with being in the moment, spirit is there just waiting for us to and wants to assist. But spirit, just like I never give readings without permission, spirit's not going to help without us asking for it. So that's the dominant energy. Just ask for help and remember that we co-create with spirit, and that we have that divine promise that we will be protected and guided and moved forward, so that this life becomes a journey rather than a labor and a punishment, which is how sometimes it feels when we don't focus on the positive. And I know that it's hard. I've been having a little thing myself lately that I've been actually kind of praying a lot because I keep being reminded that I need to ask for help. So the second card, which comes from the Healing with Fairies, and this is the card about what to focus on for your highest good. And the card that we got was New Opportunity. Now, this is a pretty exciting card, because what this card means is that we have been working towards things and manifesting things. There are new opportunities coming our way. And the encouragement with this card is that you watch for these opportunities and be aware of what's going on around you. And one of the things that happens when we see new opportunities, a lot of times we feel like, oh gosh, that can't possibly be right. That's not for me. And we start, it's self-doubt, limiting beliefs, all those things that prevent us from moving forward. And the encouragement with this is to recognize that we are co-creating with spirit, and spirit has special gifts for us. And these opportunities that seem to just come out of nowhere and kind of fall in our laps are not falling on our laps by accident. They were designed for us. And I tell people this all the time. They'll say, well, I've never done that before. Well, yeah, everything we've ever done, we had to do for the first time at some point in our lives. And sometimes we don't recognize how our life has prepared us. Everything that's happened to us and around us, for us, with us, and has led us to the moment that we're in right now. And this card asks you to watch for those opportunities. And this is an opportunity, a very specific, actually, opportunity, that something very big can happen if we are aware and we are watching, and to seek help from spirit if we feel ill prepared or like it's outside of our purview, because this was actually designed for you, with you in mind. So keep your eyes open. Remember, when it happens, that it's okay to ask spirit for guidance and for help. And remember that really things if everything just falls into place and everything just works out without a lot of effort on our part, we've gotten out of our own way and we're allowing things to happen as they're supposed to. The Spirit's going to be there every step of the way. So trust Spirit and trust yourself, and be prepared to take a leap of faith because it was designed for you. Now, the third card, which came from the mystical shaman oracle. I have to look at the name every single time. I don't know why I can't say mystical shaman oracle. It's one of my favorite decks. But the card that we got was lightning. Now, here's what's very cool about the lightning card. This deck comes with an explanation, an essence of the card, and kind of explains what the symbolism is. And the symbolism with lightning is how it illuminates the light sky. It's energies coming, all the energies on the other side of the veil, spirit, our spirit guides, angels, however you understand the universe, are all coming together to illuminate you. And it's cool because it goes so well with this card. Now, these cards were not authored by the same people. They weren't created, but they go together like they were made together. Now, here's what's exciting about it. This card comes along to tell you that if you will be aware and present and ready for the opportunities, that all the energies of the universe are coming together to ignite and renew your passion, your creativity, your clarity, your vision. Everything is going to be illuminated like the night sky is when the lightning streaks across the sky. It's a shared pool of energy that's coming to you to help you be more in tune to what's going on. And this is when we are our most creative. And it's when you're driving down the street or you're brushing your teeth and you have these amazing ideas, or when solutions seem to just present themselves and understanding seems greater and clarity seems greater, and we can be more gracious and more objective and more open to what's going on around us, understanding what's going on around us, all of these things. And it's because the energies of the heavens are coming together to illuminate that in you. Now, you have to be ready for it. This is an awakening of sorts. And it's something to give gratitude and thanks for. So while we're including spirit and our higher power, and we are watching for these amazing opportunities, we are going to be given the clarity, the vision, the passion, the renewed sense of understanding to be able to move forward and do things that we would not be able to do without spirit. So those are really three very beautiful cards that work very well together. I love taking cards from different decks and pulling them together because they all communicate a little bit differently. But when they really work out like this, it's very exciting. And I want to show you something else. I want to show you these three cards together. When you look at the back, you don't see a lot of harmony. Very, very different design. But when you look at these cards, we have pinks and blues and purples, and the colors are very harmonious and they flow together very beautifully, and they all give a sense of calm and a sense of peace, even when we're talking about lightning and and new opportunities can be a little bit scary as well. Because we tend to second guess ourselves, but there's just such a feeling of love and peace in the blues and the purples and the pinks in here. And I think that's quite interesting that they, it would be different if they were all made by the same author and pulled together and they were looking for that congruent message. These are from different people and different decks with different feels to them, yet they all still go together so beautifully. And that's because Spirit is giving you a message specifically for you. So I think that's quite lovely. So I'm going to pull a fourth card. And the fourth card is going to be, I think I'll pull it. I'm going to pull it from, hold on, let me see. My initial instinct was to pull from the fairy cards, and this card is either going to confirm, affirm, or it's going to give us something to do and something to focus on. That was a terrible shuffle. To focus on in order to help us on this path of the dominant energy, what to focus on and what we're moving toward. Isn't that exciting that we're moving toward renewed passion and creativity and clarity and grace? I think that's terribly exciting. So we'll see what we get. It'll be fun. It's fun, to get a little bit of divine guidance from time to time, and to remind us how important it is to include Spirit in all of our things. Okay. What a lovely card. I think this reading may have just been for me. I don't know. It was supposed to be for the reading, but what we got was laughter. And the laughter card comes with it, of course. I mean, it's a pretty clear thing. But the encouragement with this card is to remember, you hear all the time that laughter is the best medicine. Reader's Digest has been saying that for 50 years or more, to remember that a little bit of brevity goes a long way. Don't take things too seriously. To stay in the moment, and don't worry about those things that have already passed. You can't undo that. What you can do is move forward. And take the lessons that you need from that, make things right, and move forward. Don't spend a lot of time worrying about the future and the things that may or may not happen. That doesn't mean be irresponsible, by the way. It doesn't mean to just completely ignore what you're supposed to be doing, but be focused in the present and recognize that sometimes the joy and the sense of well-being that we feel from laughter is all that we need to kind of clear our minds. Laughter is an amazing form of meditation, and because we are being asked to remember the higher power and to ask for help, and we're being asked to keep our eyes open for new opportunities. This is when laughter is really important, actually, because we're going to look at something. This opportunity may come. We may think, no way, that's not for me. But it is. It's been designed for you. And then just the sheer joy of renewed passion and excitement and clarity and objectivity and understanding that's coming along is definitely something to celebrate. And if we keep things focused on the here and now and in the moment, not only does it help keep us in a good and a positive flow, but it brings along the people around us with us in that good and creative and positive and passionate flow. So don't forget to laugh. And when things start getting a little too heavy, the best way to recenter yourself and bring yourself back is through a good, healthy, honest look at what's actually going on. And don't forget to ask for help. Higher power, Spirit is there waiting, just waiting for us to ask, so that Spirit can bless us with that forward movement and that beautiful balance of physical, emotional, and spiritual peace that comes with keeping Spirit as the energy that we build on and that we attract to us. So I hope this message resonates with you and finds you well and happy and easily laughing at what's going on in your life. And don't forget to ask for help, because it's waiting. It's there for you. Spirit will never let you down.